Alright, let's get back into it. So, right after we finished basically with the old friend of fans, and now we just basically are going down this path, which has a very interesting path with. We'll get into more once we deal with that. So, let's go with this one. State beyond labor or capital. The entirety of economic thought has been built on a faulty foundation. It assumes that the means of production are met for petty human consumption more than accelerating to a better future. Obviously, we must remedy this great error. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of other YouTubers recently do avant-garde France. So I was like, yeah, might as well. You know, considering it's my whole channel is based around your boy over here. Oh yeah, the Austrian Reich this thing. Let's see where they go first. Yeah, there's a lot of weird words coming into it. Korea's having the Civil War. Besides that, there's a lot of reworked in the future. So we won't be seeing some of these people. So I guess this will be a bit of an archive of what used to be. Oh yeah, I forgot it was a three-way Civil War. It really has been forever since I've done this. But yeah, trying to figure out who I should go after to. British or the UK, because we can choose either or. Oh yeah, this strange new animals gather. In the countryside, a new futurist faction within our movement, Clique Julest, I think, is demonstrating their political interest by organizing several Celtic pagan rituals. I'm pretty sure the Celts with these guys. Most of their influence is in Brittany, but slowly spreading as the younger generations discover the sexual rituals involved. Woohoo. The new subculture is heavily influenced by Yugoslav Xenitism and French primitivism, declaring that Celtic tribes live fast life despite their technological backwardness, as true speed comes from the mind, not technology. Mark Auger, who is here as Maester, has already organized his following into a paramilitary group dressed in nothing but the furs of wild animals. In the night, they claim that they become true animals. What about the data separatism? Might as well get some party boost. I don't remember if that does anything though. But yeah, there are many nations I want to play. In this month. Oh yeah. I think. Let me read this just in case, because I think there is something about this going on right now. A new alternative history novel is causing a ruckus in Britain. Blues Route. The synopsis alone has caused outrage and reads as follows. At the last moment, the great powers averted war in 1914. Diplomacy won and tragedy was prevented. Woven often bitter passes turned to ashes in people's mouths. 22 years later, the period now recognized as the long peace has soured. The people of the West have sunk into malice. No longer confident of their friends or foes, or the nation's place on the road. The ties that bind have eroded, and their place stagnation has taken hold. As a result, the old order bringing up radical ideologies are gaining the ground. Now the moderate leadership band together are growing through the Marxists, ultranationalists, Darwinists, absurdists, and like us more. Will the great empire sink or swim? A pretty piece of art. So, there is actually a mod called Blues Route. I think they have a Discord server as well. I don't know what's been going on. I kind of forgot about it. Because we're doing other things. There are several nations I'd like to play later on.
Gardez vos rangs.
I already got an idea of another series with Germany. You know, kind of like, you know, doing opposites. Maybe a Poland. This whole thing. Oh yeah, famine. That famine always happens. Heroic capitalism. Let's go with that one. Labor was previously subjugated to either petty bourgeois whims or their own foolish desires. Now labor shall be directed towards achieving a great utopia. Capitalism, but for the people. I'm not gonna get into that debate. But, yeah. Once I'm basically done with this, I'll go with Germany next because I have an idea I want to try out with Germany after this. But right now we're gonna be playing as your boy for the foreseeable future, or at least until I decide to put an end to this series at some point. And oh yeah, your boy likes playing at 5-speed. I didn't Nuncio. His little fiefdom from the Fiume Endeavor. Warlords over there. Warlords over here. Bunch of warlords over there. Oh yeah, this guy. I think I know exactly what's gonna happen now. And the Caribbean is. I should probably ask if there's any no explanations. Japan falls to revolution. Revolution in Japan is victorious against all odds. The upstart naval rebellion has resulted in the total collapse of Egypt's only native hegemon. The civil war is over and the remaining imperials fled the former colonies and elsewhere. The reconstruction begins at home. There are still unresolved factional issues among the revolutionaries themselves, however. This will no doubt shape their foreign policy going forward. In Asia, install a new brand of weapon or a more gentle hand from Japan. Well, it all really depends on who wins over there. Oh yeah. There's like, if I remember correctly, there's like 3 different places the Imperial remnants can go to, like the family can go to, depending on what's going on. But right now, the All-National Front of Labor. Before labor was forced to face the horrible conditions of autonomy and keeping it up, but now they should know the true prosperity of efficiency. See, we take care of our people. Even if we are batshit insane. Win some, you lose some. You win. Question. The question is, what exactly did I do? Because there's many things I would like to do. I just want to, so I can be like a big old snowball effect. Is absolutely wreck them. And try to save a PP for all of these. Oh yeah, I forgot we have all that. Let's get heavies just so we can get heavy 2s later. Some of this. Yeah, we got a big fleet, I forgot. Got a big old fleet. Roots with culture. For too long, we have restricted our acceleration based on the decadent whims of foolish ceremonial superstition. Therefore, we must no longer confine our superior thoughts from destroying all inferior foolishness. we're just basically just gonna brute force our ideas. I think. Oh yeah, the Russian Civil War has happened, and oh yeah, Kolchak's still here. Oh yeah, he can actually die in that, if I remember correctly. You can choose whether he dies or not. The game gives you options. If you're gonna do something, the game will give you an option to go for that route, which is nice, unlike certain other mods for this game. Yeah, I like these icons. You give props to the Red Flood development team. Yeah, Bang Yang's and Wildman Tetsu. Bang Yang.
Écoutez.
Is it Bang Yang? Ah, it sucked.
Écoutez. Attention.
Might as well consider rain.
Aux ordres.
I usually just go with the infantry.
Aux ordres.
If I get infantry, I usually go with infantry expert. I don't really ambush all that much. I mean, I could, but it's just not my style. We're gonna go with that speed. We shall become even faster. We shall hit the speed of light. Then we'll go even further beyond. Oh! Sorry for any weirdness in these recordings. Sometimes I get bored quite easily. Just waiting for something to happen. But the culture of speed. Speed! You must not be afraid to rush to the future. Rather, you must retrieve our future as quickly as possible. So we are speed. You all know the meme. We are, in fact, speed. Oh yeah, I forgot America isn't in any factions. We call ourselves League, Solar, Commonwealth of Nations, Third National. And Inamarium. I forgot. I got the Inamarium thing actually timeline. Sorry, Polska. Land Poles. And Hungary is also communist. I cannot say words today. I'm terribly sorry about that.
Arrêt.
Oh, it's this one. Okay. Spanish Civil War begins. Tragedy has struck today as the unstable Spanish Republic has ruptured a twine in what international observers called the result of Roman Franco's ineffective despotism. Many are wondering something could have been done to prevent this bloodshed as the ragtag group of government opponents, under the leadership of Roman Gomez de la Serena, have taken up arms against the Republic, now headed by Alejandro Lerroux. Stranger yet, the North African territories have broken free under the rule of the young Francisco Franco, General of Morocco, and birds the infamous ex-dictator. Among all the chaos, however, there lies at least one solid truth. The only God himself knows what fate of Spain lies. Et liquimatus est ilsus. And I shall let the super event play out. Here lies half of Spain. He died of the other half. Moreno Jose de la. The two guys beating themselves over. As of now, just two. there can be a Spanish anarchy. Look at that portrait. Yeah, there can actually. Oh yeah, I can.
Écoutez.
Spanish anarchy can actually happen. I think it occurs like after like 2 years have passed and no one in either side is winning. I know the exact, but like this is usually how it happens. But yeah, that was a super event. If you don't know, super events are basically like to give like certain events that happen within like a game a bit more importance. Music, quote, image. Basically, give that event a bit more oomph. And pretty cool, my dude.
Écoutez.
And so I'm gonna find myself involved in that.
Écoutez.
Oh yeah, there's no air support. Who needs air support when you have tank support? Not just tank speed. Let's do this path because we have adventures in Spain. First, we must go full speed into the world. I've already heard about glory and rejuvenation to our proud people and proud nations. However, the revolution has still remained largely confined within our borders. To restrict our revolution within our own borders would be selfish. We spread the future across the world, the entire Earth. And the whole world will be
Pas de pitié.
will speed up for our very eyes.
Continuez d'avancer.
I will do that.
C'est parti.
So yeah, believe it or not, I actually discovered about this mod, or like started playing this mod like beginning of this year. 'Cause I have heard about this mod for like quite a long while, but no, actually, I heard it mentioned, but I didn't actually play it because I didn't really care for it at that time until now. But let's read this before we continue. The beginning of a fast life. It was just before afternoon. Antoni had been in the air combat school for just over 4 months, and today his squadron was doing something different. Today was not a normal training flight. Instead of the usual instructor of the squadron was led by a warrior priest. He was dressed in a rough oxskin jacket, which along with the helmet was painted in always in colorful patterns. As they got into the planes and left the airfield, Anton's adrenaline was already rushing through his veins. They flew lower than normal for a good while until suddenly you could hear the warrior priest's voice through the radio, distorted by a noise. "Okay, men, after me." The priest says Antonin could see his plane fly straight up into the sky. With the rest of the squadron following suit, it was then Antonin could feel it, as the G-forces were pushing his body where he could feel soul escaping his body. Behind him, the currents of reality were invading, revealing the superworld. As his soul was ascending, he could feel the marrow of his bones being pushed down towards the ground. While the priest was chanting nonsensically to the radio, Anton felt his soul leaving him completely, the sensation knocking him unconscious. When he regained his senses, he was in a black tunnel. At the end of it, he saw the ground accelerating towards him. As he traveled through the tunnel closer to its opening, he could feel himself regain power over his body. He shot out of the tunnel and back into reality, his plane speeding towards the earth. Speeding down towards the earth. Anton quickly, almost instinctively, pulled up his plane again, experiencing the orgasmic feeling of his soul leaving his mortal prison, almost losing consciousness again. It was only once Antoni rejoined the formation of planes that he truly regained his sense of reality. The low lumber that covered his ears quickly turned to his friend's voice coming from the radio. Anthony! Anthony, are you alright? Yes, I'm doing great. Adios o velocitas. Anthony, Youngblood de la Chapelle, has become a flying ace. So, yeah, as I was saying,
Écoutez.
I only recently discovered Red Flood. Not too long ago. I've heard of it, but didn't really care for it until recently.
Attention.
Ever since that, I've been hooked. I don't know, I really just like this mod. I don't know why. So it's a bit hot in my room for some reason.
Gardez vos rangs. Écoutez.
Oh, microwave. I'm not good at this.
En arrière.
Oh, it's democracy. How it's Scott. Scoot. Howard, I'm gonna crash the economy. I'm gonna save the economy by crashing the economy, Scott. Sorry. I'll probably do a playthrough on one of the U.S. paths, maybe him, some other time. Technocracy Inc. wins American general election. Our Scott's technocratic party has secured a safe majority in the American general election by appealing to the professional and working class. The policy lead being pointed based on their ability related to the job appeal to many, as they devote racist attack on the price system. Intellectuals were also swayed by the idea of applying the scientific method to political and social problems, and the government running as a technical engineering problem. Mr. Scott, soon to be inaugurated, having already given an acceptance speech to a cheering crowd. Scientific government? Interesting indeed. Yeah. So on him. Someday.
Gardez vos rangs.
Basically just gonna try and win this war with my 2 tanks. Gonna be speedy boys. Nice speedy boys. Right horses me. At the birth of our revolution, we sought to build a great civilization upon the great land of France. However, before we can seek to bring the revolution to the world, we must first expand the very foundation of our nation to include all proud freshmen. And so we will begin the loan question. You'll see. Might as well. Oh, they're going to going to that place. I think that's like Kazakhstan.
Vos ordres.
The remnants of Central Asia. Yeah, we're winning. Just taking a while. Yeah. Yeah, it seems like seems like a tug of war match going on here.
Gardez vos rangs.
Whatever the AI is doing, I have no idea what that is. I have no idea what it's doing. The AI in this game is weird. Very weird. Gotta be practical with these. It's so much better. Question. Our Northern Ireland is a mistake. It is barely a state, real or fake. It is obsolete and artificial. It begins at a feudal revenant, some place for the Habsburg to rest their wrist chains after return to their niece's bedroom. Next, the Huns run through it as they particularly are pathetic, the slow thinkers. Literally between servile monarchism and civilized socialism, the Germans just left the non-state to rot. They started military governments, forgot to install puppet prince. A single worker and soldiers council tried to invade the gale in a bleak Wallonian field. The German occupation government there let itself diminish, running off to Prussia, half devoted themselves to new native military governments. Isn't that ridiculous? You stay for so long in Wallonia and you lose your purpose. You become a dinosaur, watching the economy decline, watching the world move on without you. Luckily, we can fix that. Julius Schmalzgog is a futurist who understands how dreary the Wallonian construct is. Although he is both a native speaker of Flake Flemish, he considers himself more inspired by the Italians. He has conjured up la fraternité François futuristique, a brotherhood for all the ones who remember their Latinate heritage, and understand that France is the future of the futurism. So I had to cough. They have requested military access in crushing the Wallonian government. It would be foolish to deny this, though we might gain some amusement watching a homegrown civil war. We've been full open support, why not? Why not? Why not? As we accelerate our ideology beyond borders from the first torn towards our neighbors, we present an easy opportunity for a foothold in the Atlantic. Adventures in Hispania. Yeah, boy. Fraternity. Herman Martina has been hanged from a post in the mirror. Graffiti inscribed behind him. I'm a treacherous snake that sold out the French people. The corpse of his means and partners in crime are littered behind him. Supposedly they were planning to run off to the German Congo, go back to their old days. They were crushed too quickly though. As Scadron mastered the streets, they ignored the debris and the bodies of the past. Why look at that awful stuff when you can pay attention to men and women throw themselves at your feet? Free hugs, free kisses, free food. Everyone singing French songs in a beautifully discordant way. Synchronized singing is overrated. Wallonia is overwhelmed with passion. Wallonia has reached her limit. Wallonia is drunk on violence and militancy. If her choir was nice, orderly, innocent church boys and innocent church girls, you'd think she didn't care. Everyone was incoherently spilling out to the streets, a sign that something spectacular has happened. A cacophony is really bliss. The cacophony is really bliss. Julius Schmalzgog gave a speech in the Elysée, Baltia's former residence. Wallonia is now an integral part of France. It will never be separated again. Still, the work of the French people is never done. Now that Wallonia France are united, they must spread the light of futurism across Europe and then the globe. It had then sufficed. Attal himself appeared behind Schmalzgog. He congratulated the crowd and freed himself from delay, reminding them of the travail under the German occupation. Not important. And in successor state, Julius broke into tears, throwing herself into Antonin's arms. Now we are truly children of France. It never stops. Today St. Albans Cathedral burns. It was made by the Pope 350 years ago. Nobody needed that. Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow after, French theater will pour into Wallonia. We'll strangle them with love. For the next few days, Wallonia will be the surreal frontier. Then, we'll have the home. We'll have the world. Welcome home, brothers. Read that backwards. But, I'm almost out of time. All the mad artists. And I will see you guys later. So with that, we shall end it here.